Making sense of length using longest and shortest. Let and solve in your head. 20 minus 13. Pause if you need to. You should have 7. 19 minus 9. You should have 10. Our daily learning target is to make sense of length using the words longest and shortest. In our standard, we are going to order 3 objects by length, compare the lengths of 2 objects indirectly by using a third object to compare it to. First problem we're going to look at involves sandwiches. Carly is very hungry after soccer practice. She tells her family that she wants to eat the ham sandwich because it is the longest. What do you think of Carly's reasoning? Use the picture to defend your thinking. So take a moment, pause the video, and talk with someone in your family and your house about what you think about what Carly said. Do you think that she's correct? Do you think she's incorrect, and why? Press play whenever you're ready. So the first thing I want to look at is where these sandwiches are. You see there's a dotted line right here, and it's there for a reason. These 2 sandwiches, the cheese sandwich and the turkey sandwich, are pretty lined up. But this ham sandwich that she's talking about, even though it's way over here, I can't help but notice that there's this big gap of space right here, that this sandwich is not lined up. So if Carly was trying to tell me that this was the biggest sandwich, I would be pretty skeptical of her, and I would say that we need to line up all the sandwiches. So now we have it lined up. Carly rearranges the sandwiches so that they all start at the same point. If Carly is very hungry, which sandwich would be the best one for her to choose? Explain. So again, if she was very hungry, when you're very hungry, you want to eat the biggest sandwich. So think about which one is the biggest sandwich. All right, now that all of these sandwiches are lined up over here, we can now go based off of on the right side, since they are lined up on the left. And the sandwich that's sticking out the most is this turkey sandwich right here. We see it goes all the way here. If we draw this line upwards, we have a lot of space left over from the cheese sandwich, a little more space left over on the ham sandwich. So the turkey sandwich is definitely the biggest. All right, length, our vocabulary word, is the distance from one point to another. We have our starting point, say starting point, and our end point. And from start to finish, that's what we call length. Longest. Longest means the greatest distance or the biggest distance. So this is really big. So I'm going to draw a line to represent that. And shortest is the smallest distance. I'm going to represent that with a small line. Short means small, long means big. So when you're talking about the cheese sandwich, the ham sandwich, and the turkey sandwich, you can use these words right here, longest and shortest. So think about it for a moment. Which sandwich is the shortest? If you said the cheese sandwich was the shortest, then you were correct. I'm going to put an S for short. Which sandwich is the longest? If you said the turkey sandwich was the longest, then you are correct. Let's look at these dogs. Which dog is the shortest length? Which dog is the longest length? But before we figure that out, what do we need to do first? Pause the video and talk about it. So we can't say for sure which dog is the longest or shortest until we line them all up. So we need to make sure they all have the same starting point. So let's rearrange these to all have the same starting point. Now they're all lined up, and now we can compare them. So because they all have the same starting point, it's a fair measurement. The one that sticks out the most is going to be the longest one. So dog number 1 over here is the longest. I'll put an L for longest. Now we're looking for the shortest one. We have 2 more to compare it to. And quite clearly, this is not the shortest since there's a gap in between these 2. So the doggy in the shirt is the shortest. And then this one right here, if we put it in order, would be the one in the middle. Now it's time to check your understanding. Jarrell has 3 pencils. Draw a circle around the shortest pencil. Draw a box around the longest pencil. I'll give you a moment to think about that. All right, if you said this was the shortest pencil, then you are correct. If you said this is the longest pencil and you drew a box around this one, then you are correct. Now I challenge you to go in your room and find a few objects and tell me which one is the longest one and which one is the shortest one. Have your parents send a picture of what you found and discuss with your parents or your siblings, or you can even call me up on the phone or contact me through Class Dojo and let me know what objects you used and which was the shortest and which was the longest. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.